Welcome back. Now that we've got our software installed, let's go ahead and jump into the program. But before we start cutting footage left and right, let's make sure that we have the software set up to suit our needs. Okay, so whenever you first launch HitFilm Express, you're brought to this home screen, and on the right-hand side, you're seeing some video pieces here. These are on YouTube, and they are examples of what you can create. Some of these tutorials are really great, and I recommend them once you become more proficient in the software. Others you'll probably watch for about 30 seconds and realize it's not for you, and you'll just skip on to the next one. Either way, it's a great community, and they're very active, and they're all about helping each other out, so it's definitely a plus. Over here on the left, we have what's called add-on packs. So HitFilm Express is the free version of the HitFilm software. However, as you continue to progress in your understanding of HitFilm and video editing, you may want to look into these add-on packs, and they just kind of expand the functionality of HitFilm. But for right now, just to get you guys started, you do not need any of this at all to deliver top-notch content out of HitFilm Express. Okay, so since this is our first time opening the software, we're going to start a new project. So we're going to go to New and click on New. And it defaults to 25 frames per second. All you need to know about 25 frames per second is that that is the European standard. And we are not European, we are American. So we're going to go with either 23.976 frames per second, FPS stands for frames per second, or we go with 24 frames per second. Most of the cell phone cameras that you'll be shooting with are going to default to 23.976, so that's what we'll select for this project. The video defaults to 1920 by 1080, that's full HD, which is perfectly fine. Square pixels, perfectly fine. Audio sample rate of 48,000 hertz, that is perfectly fine as well. And we're going to go ahead and click OK. Okay, so this is our default workspace. We have the trimmer, we have the viewer, we have the audio meters, we have the editor, and this is often called the timeline in most other editors, and I may refer to it as the timeline. We have the effects, we have media, and over here we've got a few more things, but we can't really see them because we have too much stuff on this page. So we're going to clean it up. We're going to start off by clicking and dragging the meters up here to the right, and we're just going to take this until you have a double-sided arrow. We're going to drag it over to make it small. We want to give the viewer as much room as possible. And now we want to drag the media up here to the top left. We want to drag the effects up to the top left and have it be one of these tabs. So what that allows us to do is, if you want to work with effects, you can click on that tab. If you want to look at the video files that you have available, you can click on here. And you can just go back and forth based on what you need. The Controls tab, we're going to drag up here next to the trimmer. Now what the Controls tab allows you to do is, once you apply an effect to a video piece that's down here in your editor, the Controls panel is what allows you to fine-tune that effect. So if you want to make your video piece big, you can scale it up here. If you want your video piece to rotate, you can rotate it right in here. So you can apply the effect to your video, and once that effect is applied, you can come to your Controls tab and you can make the adjustments that you would like. We also have the Text tab, and that one allows you to obviously apply text to your video. We're going to drag that one up here. So now we have 3 tabs that we can work with. And now we have a History tab. We don't really need that. It's not necessary. And I just make it a point to get rid of it every time I start a new workspace. We can drag this down. Now what this has done is it's cleaned up our view. We have a full-length timeline, which will come in handy when we start editing videos. We have our audio levels right here. We have our viewer, which shows us what our edit looks like. We have the media, which contains all of our project files, video, audio, logos, still pictures. We have the effects that we can apply. We have the trimmer. We have the controls that control the effects. And over here, we have our text. Now what we can do is we can go up here to View, and you can see that it's under our Edit. But what we're going to do is we're going to save a workspace because we want to have this readily available to us whenever we like. So we're going to click on Save Workspace, and let's call it Editing-Workshop. Hit OK. And now that workspace is saved, and it will be available to you for all of your future projects. All you have to do is go up to View, Workspaces, Editing, Workshop, and it's going to be there every single time. This is a great way to get started in editing. Way too often, too many editors just want to dive in and start cutting footage. But I believe it's important to set up your creative space in a way that allows you to work efficiently and creatively. So now that we have our workspace set up in a way that we like, the next lesson is going to be all about keyboard shortcuts. See you then.